Hey guys, what's going on? This is Neil, and I am just checking in after a very long time to give you guys an update on this channel and on myself, and also just to do something fun. I'm also hoping to test out some of my new technology. I've got some upgrades to my setup. I'm hoping to test that out with this video, and also just talk about some stuff and let you know how things have been going with me, and also talk about some content and give you guys some content. So I'm hoping this video is going to be useful for me, but also for you, definitely. And I know most of you probably subscribed way back when because of the Elements of Brony project. Realize that hasn't come out, and so yeah, as you know, I don't put out a lot of videos that are going to annoy you in your subscriber feed, and that's probably not going to change for the near future. But I still am working on the project. Now that's a long story. It's a weird story. And I hope to get more into that as we go along here. So I'm just going to keep this really casual. This is, of course, unscripted, as you can tell, due to my complete and total clumsiness. But it's just how I prefer to make things. There's no way I would take the time to come out with a written spiel to give you guys for this. But I'm hoping that this will be fun. So in addition to talking about myself and my projects, there's something else I want to talk about with this video, and that is I kind of want to do a little bit of a rant on something that's related to what I've been spending a lot of my free time on in the last couple of months and years, actually, which is playing the video game Heroes of the Storm. Now, some of you may not know, and here I'm just going to go ahead and launch the game so you can stop staring at Mr. Neo here. Just FYI, Neo is my gamer tag, and it was my very first gamer sort of handle, going back way back to when I was like in middle school and still having Halo 1 Xbox parties with my friends, which should give you some idea of how old I am. But I'll never apologize for it. So yeah. So I've been spending a lot of my free time in the last couple of years gaming, because I am actually a gamer. I've been an avid gamer my entire life, and so I've got kind of a weird relationship with gaming, where it's both been like a pastime and a hobby and a passion. And I also have to admit, at times it's been an addiction. I know a lot of people have opened up about video game addiction. It's kind of a common knowledge thing at this point that just like anything else people do for fun, and that are very rewarding in certain ways, can be addicting. And certain people are more vulnerable to addiction than others. And so I'm just going to be honest that, I have a pretty serious anxiety disorder, and it's caused me a lot of challenges, and it's only been, very recently that I've even come to grips with understanding how serious of a challenge it's been for me. And yeah, gaming has been kind of a way throughout my life as a way to escape from that and relieve anxiety, but it's also been a source of anxiety because addictions aren't healthy. And it's weird because at the same time, I realize that fully, but also will never be able to give up gaming, really. I don't ever foresee that happening, because it's something I'm passionate about. And to be very frank, had things turned out differently, if my life circumstances had been a little bit different, namely if I had parents who supported this, I would... And if I had been born a couple of years later, I might have very easily considered it a career in the gaming industry, and also even as a pro gamer. And that kind of segues into my next topic, which is going to be Heroes of the Storm. Because I'm not the kind of gamer who plays a lot of games. I generally focus on one or two. And Heroes of the Storm has been my focus for the last, actually, a couple of years. And while I've never really ranked up in it, it's been very enjoyable for me. So if I can just sort of explain what Heroes of the Storm is, it's a Blizzard game, and I've been a Blizzard gamer for most of my life. So yeah, Heroes of the Storm is a game by Blizzard, one of the largest PC gaming companies in history. I'm sure many of you are familiar with Blizzard. They created World of Warcraft, one of the largest, if not the largest still, massive multiplayer online role-playing games, MMORPGs. And yeah, I mean, if you don't know what World of Warcraft is, I don't know what to tell you. But you know, and it's also responsible for a host of other gaming titles, StarCraft, the StarCraft franchise, the Diablo franchise. Hold on one second here. Hearthstone more recently, and Heroes of the Storm is kind of like the redheaded stepchild of Blizzard. So it didn't get anywhere near the kind of popularity upon release that other games did. Heroes of the Storm was Blizzard's entry into the MOBA genre, or the multiplayer online battle arena game. So here, I'm just going to jump into a game here and play while I'm talking to you guys. So yeah, Heroes of the Storm is basically like League of Legends. It's basically the Heroes version, the Blizzard version of League of Legends, and I'm just gonna play versus AI here, so I can kind of have my brain off and not be too distracted. But it's sort of like a cross between League of Legends and Super Smash Brothers, because Blizzard games have a lot of lore behind them. If you're not familiar with them, there's a lot of characters that have history that goes back literally years. And Heroes of the Storm sort of took all the various characters from all the various franchises that Blizzard has and mashed them together in this arena battler. And it's basically a MOBA style game in the vein of LoL or Dota, if you're familiar with Defense of the Ancients. And the irony of it is that, you know, the entire genre, the entire MOBA genre, came out of Blizzard. It came from Blizzard games. It evolved from Warcraft 3 mini-games. The game Warcraft 3 had mini-games, custom games, and one of those custom games was Defense of the Ancients, that eventually evolved into the very first MOBA and the MOBA genre. And League of Legends sort of became an imitator of Defense of the Ancients that came out later. And so the funny irony about that is Blizzard itself completely missed out on the MOBA genre, because they caught on later and released Heroes of the Storm, but it was released in 2015, which was fairly late in the development of the genre, and actually many people argue that was already the waning years of the genre, and it's already reached peak popularity and is now slowly declining with the rise of games like Fortnite. And the Battle Royale genre, which has kind of taken the spotlight. So, we're getting into the game here, and you can see I'm playing one of the heroes in Heroes of the Storm. This is Azmodan. He is a character. Oop, someone's talking to me.
Curtain rises in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, so it's tough to talk and play, I'm finding. Sorry about that. So, yeah, I'm playing a character from the Diablo franchise, which is, as many of you may know, a very old franchise now. It's over 20 years old, and this is a character from Diablo 3, actually, Azmodan. In this game, he's sort of a siege master. And this is why I like Heroes of the Storm, because I've been a lifelong Blizzard fan. I've played almost all of their games, with the exception, ironically, of World of Warcraft, which is what probably most people know them for. But I never played World of Warcraft because, well, hey, I enjoyed having a life. Alright, let's dunk on these fools. So, I even didn't hear about Heroes of the Storm until well over a year after it was actually released in 2015, which is kind of emblematic of how this game was a complete failure of marketing right from the very beginning, because even lifelong Blizzard fans like me had no idea what the game was and like didn't really know about it. Wow, these guys are like really feeding into our towers. Even for AI, that's useful. Oops, didn't mean to whistle. So yeah. And so the long story short is that I really fell in love with this game because it's a great concept for a game. It's sort of, like I said, Super Smash Brothers for Blizzard, and you can play all of these characters. It's like a nostalgia fest for me, and for so many other people, where you can play all these characters that you grew up with playing the games for, and they're all fighting each other in this one game. And it also, and I'm not gonna lie, it feeds into my competitive streak, which I have a very large competitive streak. And so this kind of game, at least when you're playing against other people, allows me to sort of flex that a little bit. Oop. Get him! Ah, damn it. Sorry, I normally would have landed that, but I'm distracted by you people. And so, yeah. It became sort of an all-consuming hobby for me to play this game, and I followed the pro scene also. There was a pro scene in this game, and I'm using the past tense for that because in the very, very recent past, when we're talking like a week here, we just received news that Blizzard has just unceremoniously canceled the pro scene for this game, without so much as a warning to the players who were playing it competitively. So there were people literally making a living playing this game professionally. There was a professional circuit called the Heroes Global Championship, or the HGC, and it was an international tournament and was truly all over the world. There were people from every region on the planet playing this game competitively, from Europe to Korea to North America to ANZ, Australia, New Zealand, Taiwan, China. It was everywhere. South America even for a little bit. And that's all over now, because Blizzard basically, along with the rest of the gaming industry, has been suffering financially recently. And part of their loss-cutting strategy has basically been to cut loose this entire game from official support.
In my last video, I discussed the latest fiasco surrounding Blizzard, this time concerning the scaling down of Heroes of the Storm. In a press release published on December 13th, 2018, Blizzard announced that they would be moving developers away from the game and onto other projects in the pipeline.
What happens when you enter a genre gold rush too late in the day and string along an eSports team, or 2 or 3 or 4, without telling them what the hell is going on? Well, you upset people when you have to announce that Heroes of the Storm development has scaled back.
So they moved a bunch of staff to other games that are making them more money, and they destroyed the professional scene in one announcement. And it was an extremely traumatic event for a lot of people.
Heroes of the Storm! 정말 재밌는 게임입니다. e스포츠 계속 진행해 주셨으면 정말 감사하겠습니다. I feel like I never felt this betrayed in my life. I felt betrayed before in my life before, but never this hard. Never this much.
Only for battle. 6 more months. And Blizzard fucking has to... Can't even... tell us.
Imagine you're in a relationship with someone for fucking 3 years, and you're just about to get married for the next year or something. You're literally just about to get married, and they just like walk out. That's exactly what happened, dude. My heart is broken. This is probably worse than okay, maybe not worse than any, you know, normal heartbreak, but Jesus Christ, it feels the exact same, man. It's rough. Blizzard is the bad guy in the movie that manipulate one of the main characters.
This game had so many great qualities that Blizzard never emphasized, and it's really sad. It honestly, like, I can sit here and tell you guys that I hate HOTS and that I wish that, you know, it was dead or whatever, but there is like a lot. There's a very large part of me that wish that this game also succeeded, you know. And the only reason that I want this game to die and Blizzard to die with it is because they couldn't make this game succeed, and it was so close. It was
tough for me to watch, even for me as basically a casual fan. It was very hard to watch professional streamers, people that I've grown to know over the last couple of years, lose their jobs in one fell swoop in one day. There were people crying on their streams. It was insane to watch, and it sent me into like a really bad depression spiral, honestly, like just from sympathy, just like sympathy depression, really. Because this is something that's important to me and it's important to a lot of people, and it sort of represented more than just the downfall of one game. It sort of represented the downfall of a company that we've loved, whose products we've loved since we were little kids. I mean, the original StarCraft was my first Blizzard game, and that was way back in like 1998. I must have been like 10 or 12, I don't even know. And I've loved most of the games that Blizzard has put out since then. Played almost all of them. Played Diablo, Diablo 1, Diablo 2, Warcraft 1, 2, and 3. Like I said, everything except World of Warcraft and really Overwatch. I even got into Overwatch recently, but I'm probably not going to get into it very heavily. Because I already had my shooter. My shooter was Counter-Strike and Team Fortress 2. And there's really no way I can find myself. There's no way I see myself learning another shooter at this point in my life. At this point in my life, there just comes a time when you just don't feel it anymore. You know, it's like, you know, I had my games. I'm not gonna try another one. Oop, I should probably pick talents here, and that's another distinguishing feature of Heroes of the Storm from a game like League of Legends, is that you can build your heroes to have talents. There's talent picks instead of items. There's no items in this game, like there is in LoL. I don't want to delve too much into the specifics of the game and all that. I don't want to bore you guys if you're not interested. But the reason I'm talking about this also is not just because, of course, I'm interested in gaming and that this has been something that's big for me recently, but it's got me thinking about, like, the creative industry, creative businesses, creative pastimes, and the things that people do for a living. Because I was watching all these people who play this game professionally, and to me, they were like living the dream, you know what I mean? They were doing what I could have seen myself doing had things been different. And they had it taken away from them, just like that. And to me, that was just eye-opening, and it was really sobering, and it was something to think about. And also, you know, in terms of Blizzard, a lot of people, there's been a lot of things around the internet. If you're familiar with gaming, you've probably heard about it. There's basically been a lot of controversy that's... the consensus basically is that Blizzard as a company is no longer what it once was. That in recent years, there have been changes and shakeups to the company. People have left. Mike Morhaime, the president of the company, resigned recently. I mean, he didn't resign, he stepped down, he retired. He's been with the company since its inception, along with a whole lot of other old guard personalities have left. And basically, it's been a change, and, you know, things change, and this has been one of those moments when things change, when something that once was is no longer that way. And you can see that in pop culture all over the place, be it like the fact that people think Star Wars is no longer as good as it once was, or you know, how a story that you once liked is no longer good, or you know, it might even relate to My Little Pony. You know, if you don't think that the story is as good as it once was, I personally think it is. I think it's actually good. I'm still following the show, but we'll get into that in a little bit.
It is time for a change in strategy.
One of the interesting things about Blizzard is that its philosophy used to be, if it's not good, we're not going to release it. It was quality over quantity to almost an insane degree, where soon was sort of a meme with Blizzard, where they'd had long development cycles that would take years and years and years, and they would just give game developers, their developers, the time they needed to make everything as good as possible. and they wouldn't release a game until it was perfect, until they were really ready to release it. Hi, Valera.
True righteousness.
And that philosophy has basically gone by the wayside now, and people are basically seeing Blizzard take a quantity over quality approach now.
The heavens shall triumph this
And
day.
they're trying to break into the Chinese market, and they're moving away from PC games and moving into making mobile games. So basically, they've moved away from everything that made the company what it was in the first place. And, you know, even though it's a $66 billion corporation... Oh, I might die. I probably shouldn't be here. Yep. Oh, well. Kind of amazed I haven't died yet. There is a well-known line in Blizzard games, if you're aware of it, from the World of Warcraft storyline, no king rules forever.
No king rules forever, my son.
And while Blizzard has been basically at the top of the PC gaming industry for decades now, that time is probably coming to an end, very, very seriously.
For the rebound.
So, one of the things that I always found interesting about old Blizzard that kind of relates to me and this channel also is that Blizzard once worked on projects and has worked on projects that they worked on for years and years and years that never saw the light of day. Now this is not unique to Blizzard, obviously. Infamously, Valve, which is the other major company whose games I play, had Half-Life 2 Episode 3, which never was released and basically was announced not too long ago will never be released. One reason being they felt that they couldn't really make the game as quality as it deserved to be, so it's just not going to come out. And Valve sort of made the decision that it's better to not release it, despite all the hype around it, than to release it and have it not live up to the expectations. And Blizzard used to be that way too, and it worked on a project for a long, long time called Titan, which Blizzard developers will talk about with pained expressions on their faces because they really wanted to release that game. It was their passion project. And I don't even know what Titan was supposed to be. I can't even remember. I think it might have been a shooter. I think it might have been a class-based shooter that eventually morphed into what Overwatch became. But Titan never released, and they eventually canceled the project. So... And they worked on that project for 7 years. It was a game they invested time and money into that they never ended up releasing. And so to me that reminds me a lot of Elements of Roni, just in my own sphere. I worked on that project with my heart and soul, I put a lot into it, and it never got released. It never got finished, I should say, rather. And in a way, I really think of it as not being released because episodes 5 and 6 were going to be the main meat of the project, really. Like, it's actually the heart and soul of the project is in the episodes that you guys haven't seen. Are the two parts that are the closest to me and the ones I feel are the most important. While I still do want to finish them and release them, and while a lot of the work on them has been done already, which is the funny part, I have to be realistic and say that, yeah, it may not happen, no matter how much I may want it to. And it comforts me to know that, you know, there are multi-billion-dollar corporations that have gone through that, so I know I shouldn't feel that bad about it. And the other thing is I don't want to let that failure prevent me from releasing anything else. So I'm just going to start releasing videos that I make, and it may not be what you're looking for, and if you feel like you need to leave, that's fine, and I get it. But I need to move forward, and so that's kind of... I mean, I wanted to finish it partly because I felt like I needed to move forward psychologically. I felt like I would never be able to move forward with any other creative projects unless I was able to get elements out of the way.
Be warned, ally.
Excuse me.
To new ground.
So that kind of gets me back to the Brony fandom, because I have not been a part of it for years now, basically since you've heard from me. Like, I think I released an April Fool's video about the release of episode 5, and that was basically the last time I was involved in the Brony fandom's goings-on, really, in a serious way, in terms of at least following what was happening. I have not been following what's been going on in the Brony fandom writ large, and I don't. I might explain more on that in future videos. But I'm curious as to what's been going on, and so if any of you in the comments want to know, like, it's not meant to be a judgment. I'm just saying I've fallen off. I'm not a fandom type person. I never was. I've enjoyed many stories throughout my life. I've never been in fandoms for them, you know, stories and games. It's just not my style. It's not in my personality to be a fanboy of things. I just admire them quietly in my own way, and without making a social activity out of it. The Brony fandom was the closest I ever came to that, really, and I'm not saying I regret it or anything. It's not in my personality. So if any of you want to let me know about things that have happened in the fandom in the last couple of years that I should know about, or check out anything that was made or any developments that happened, let me know. I want to know. Let's see. Final damage heals. Powers allies. Damn, I didn't even know about that. So yeah, we're coming to the end of this game, and I'm gonna come to the end of this video because I don't want to drag on too long and waste your guys' time. But I'm gonna be working on more creative projects in the future, and oh yeah, there was another thing. In terms of livelihoods, I've been working as a paralegal for the last couple of years. Even though I do have a law degree, and I did graduate law school successfully many years ago. But I never ended up taking the bar exam, partly because of the anxiety disorder that I talked about. But I have actually just in the last couple of weeks, I've resolved to take the bar exam, and so I'm actually sitting for my state's bar in July of next year, so 2019. So that's going to be that. So I'll be working on that, and I'll be pretty busy with that, and I'm also going back to work in a little bit. I've been between jobs. I'll be taking a new job in about a week and a half, so that's going to be happening with me. So I'm going to be busy. It's going to be really busy, and I'm going to be stressed out, but ironically, I am going to be able to be more productive as a result of that, I think. And I guess the last thing I kind of wanted to say is that Elements of Brony came about during law school, while I was in law school, and I was super busy, and part of it was actually avoidance behavior. Oh, my party member left. Because I've always, whatever is stressing me out the most in my life, I always seek to sort of avoid by doing something else instead, and MLP and the pony fandom and the project that I started as a result of it kind of came about as a result of that avoidance behavior. It became my escape, in a way. The irony being that once I graduated from law school, which was quite an ordeal for me, I no longer needed that, and there were a lot of other factors that were kind of weighing. You know, I worked my ass off on episode 4 of the series, and when I kind of realized that, you know, the viewership of the project was going to decline, which wasn't by itself the problem, but it wasn't exactly an encouragement, let me say just that. And I no longer needed it as an avoidance behavior, and so I kind of got back into what I usually do as an avoidance behavior, which is gaming. I'm just going to be upfront about that. And so it actually turned that Elements of Brony became the thing that was stressing me out. It became my obligation. It became the thing that I had to do instead of the thing that I wanted to do. And this is more complicated than I'm able to explain here, because there are definite reasons why I want to get that project done, personal reasons even. But it's just that the inertia against working on it kind of outweighed my motivation to continue working on it. So I want you guys to know that, like, it's not just because I've been busy that it hasn't happened, but that I've been unable to work on it. It's not that I didn't have the time, it's just that I didn't have the motivation. But I'm hoping to change that, because I've made a lot of strides in terms of dealing with the anxiety and dealing with my motivation problems. And like I said, I've also made a lot of great upgrades to my setup, my technology. I have a new computer, I have a new recording setup, and I've basically learned a lot and done some self-education on that. So I should just basically have more tools for creating videos and creating content now. And I'm also mentally in a place where I can do that now. So I hope you guys stay tuned, and I thank you for listening to this video, And if you have any questions or comments about anything, just let me know and I will do my best to answer them. And I'll see you on the next video. But whatever comes out of this channel, what I want to say is that I'm not going to waste your time. Nothing I release on this channel is going to be something that I release and feel like anyone is going to waste their time by watching it. So that's basically the guiding principle I have, not to waste your time. So thanks again, and best of the holiday season to all of you. So yeah, as someone once said to me just in the last couple of days, Merry fucking whatever. Neil X signing off.
Fuck you if you don't like Christmas and Kwanzaa. Fuck you if you don't like Eid and Hanukkah. Fuck you if you don't like Thanksgiving. You gotta be grateful. Fuck you if you don't like goodwill to men. Fuck you if you don't like presents in the den and stockings hung by the motherfucking fireplace. With care.
Oh, there was actually one other thing I wanted to show you guys. Meet Orphea. She's the recent addition to Heroes of the Storm. She's the newest hero. And their foray into Animu Land. Full disclosure, I actually hated this character when she was released. But, she's grown on me. Little lollybait waifu has grown on me. The reason that I hated her is because she's actually not from any of Blizzard's franchises. She is not, from Warcraft, she's not from Starcraft, she's not from Diablo, she's a completely original character. And, so even though you've got, like, lots of different characters in this game, so you've got characters from the Diablo franchise, you've got, you know, you've got freaking pandas. Where's the pandas? Anthony, you should like this one, right? We got Fat Panda, Chen, Storm Stout. We've got his little niece, I think. Where's Lily at? I can't find her. We got Overwatch characters like Hanzo. We got Uther the Lightbringer from Warcraft. We got the Monk from Diablo 3. Oh, we're getting more people in the party. We got Tyrael from Diablo 3. God, I thought this was absolutely boss when I first started playing this game, that you could play as Tyrael. You got the Butcher all the way from Diablo 1. I mean, this is... A lot of these characters have skins on them, so you're not seeing their original appearance, but, where's Lily? There's Lily. Panda Girl. You got furries. So there's something for everyone in this game, and that's one of the reasons I like it so much. So we're gonna play as, we're just gonna give you some bonus footage here, and we're gonna play as Orphea. She had like a cinematic reveal at BlizzCon recently, and they kind of went all out on her. She's a well-designed hero, and she's fun to play, so she kind of grew on me, I had to say.
For the Nexus.
And she's got really, really cute emojis, I'm gonna say. So let's jump in as Orphea. So yeah, you can see Sylvanas is on my team. You got Raynor from StarCraft, Jim Raynor. And I've got a nostalgic attachment to a lot of these characters that goes back literally decades. And so that's the appeal of this game. I didn't really do that good of a job of explaining it, I think. But yeah. So what's good with you guys? I was kind of making that video all about me, but definitely if you guys got anything if you want to say about... One thing I want to say is that, you know, I understand that after all this time, a lot of you guys have probably moved on from Brony fandom, or the MLP fandom. A lot of you may not watch the show anymore, or a lot of you may still be into it. And I'd be interested in hearing from you guys why you went down either road, I guess. I actually have kept up on the show though. I just haven't been following the fandom, but I did watch season 8. It was season 8, right? Was it season 8 or 9? I can't even remember. I think it was season 8, right? So I'm kind of just rooting for the show at this point because it's proven indestructible. I think it's just got such a huge audience when you combine all the adults who watch it and all the kids. It's going to be going until at least season 10, it sounds like, and it has not it has not shown signs of jumping the shark, in my opinion. It's the quality has been kind of on an upswing or staying the same. Like, it's kind of amazing to me how well that show has kept up the quality, despite having staff shakeups, despite all this time going by, despite, you know, the various pressures that might be on the show. I think the quality level of it has stayed remarkably consistent.
3, 2, 1.
So, I'm just impressed by the show for that, in a way. I mean, some shows are like that. I mean, it's, you know, Sesame Street's been going on for 40 years, 50 years now, I swear. It's been going on since the 70s. But, so I guess Pony's a little like that now, where it's just kind of turned into an institution. And the way they've just decided to do it... Oop, people are dying. I'm gonna actually try and play a little bit more seriously here. Uh-oh.
Neo, I swear to God, if that was your spray, I'm gonna attack you. This is what it takes.
Attack me, baby.
That shit was on point, my dude.
You think yourself worthy to...
I used to use that spray for literally every character. It was just the best. I'm sorry.
Why do you have to be part of the...
It was either the Li Ming sunglasses or Artana's heart.
On the run again. I'm annoyed now.
Capture the shrine, inherit the Dragon Knight's power, and lay waste.
Screw you, Asmodan. Okay.
Why do you have to be
Uh-oh,
part of the
I'm gonna die. No! Oh, thank God.
I can't do this on my own, sadly.
Yeah, so Orphea's master of sass. I am gonna die. Do we have a healer? Sorry, I got distracted. What was I saying? Something about the show. That's right, horses. Whatever, I don't care. I'm just gonna play this game, so if you guys want to check out, that's fine with me, but, this is just bonus footage. Disengage. So yeah, Orphea is definitely full Animu. Like, it's kind of embarrassing. They have Italian-themed talent choices, and like one of her abilities is called Shadow Waltz, and yeah, it's just they went full Animu waifu. And you know what? I'm not even mad anymore. I used to be mad, not anymore. So yeah.
Neo, where are you going, boy? Go up. Get that damn stride. Come on, man.
What you talking about? What do you think I'm doing? I'm pouring hero damage. What Orphea does best. Ah, shit.
I'll keep going.
No!
Let's get out of here. Stop it! You're embarrassing both of us.
I kept wondering where the healer was, and then I realized we didn't have one. Because supports are for pussies.
I tried to save this realm. Now it burns.
Oh, Raino's in trouble. Wait, no, he's not. I'm gonna steal that kill, Rainer.
Too easy.
I'm gonna steal it. Got him.
I guess I am my father's daughter. I cast a long shadow.
You know it. I'm bringing home the cash.
I'm annoyed now. Easy enough.
I must heal.
No laser for you.
I need a strategy.
Yeah, Sylv's tower disabling doesn't last anymore. I was like, I got 10 seconds to kill this guy and then we gotta run.
Another chance to prove yourself worthy. Do not squander it.
I can play around. I need a strategy. Stop it! You're embarrassing both of us.
Well done.
Let's try for a wombo combo.
My husband is dead. Remind this kingdom of his strength.
You are my ire incarnate.
I won't miss your
Damn it, Johanna. Get back here. That was Johanna I was squaring it off against. That's Johanna right there. She is the Crusader class from Diablo 3. So, the class is from RPGs.
Oh, boy. Oh.
Ah, I got silenced. Oh, fuck you. Silly Alarak.
You've done this before.
Get wrecked. Jaina, you bitch. Wait, you're just gonna let that Jaina just run away? She killed me. Get revenge, damn it.
This isn't over. Easy enough.
I'll get her for you. We did it!
I won!
Choose a challenge. It is your right.
Stop it! You're embarrassing both of us. I'm annoyed now.
No one can stop us when we're together.
Structures, and they will find no peace.
That's impressive.
Look at his team. We're gonna do great.
Who wants a wombo combo?
Ooh. Me.
Get your ass over here.
Alright, I'm scared.
I'll do this on my own.
Oh boy.
Now they're all gonna run away.
Alright.
Oh, that kinda worked. For them. Oh, Jesus. It hurts so much.
You don't look too good.
This is what it
I think you
takes.
could use a healing fountain.
Wombo combo. That ain't Falco. Ah, zombie.
I'll keep going. Why do you have to be part of the problem?
Oops, kind of fucked that up. Oh, sorry. I apologize for all the swearing. I swear a lot, actually. Something you may not know. Especially when I'm gaming.
It won't be long.
So.
Yo, what up? It's your boy, Skinny Penis.
Wait, what'd you say?
The Nexus just got a little
Nothing.
safer.
Choose your wisely.
I see how it is.
You don't want to hear it. It's a meme.
Like
Oh my God, Savannah.
Become the Dragon Knight and claim vengeance for my family.
Stupid.
So yeah, we got Jaina Proudmoore, and we got Johanna, the Crusader from Diablo 3. So they gave, like, the different classes from RPGs who don't actually have characters or names, their own name and sort of identity, and they did cross-promotion between all the different Blizzard franchises. So if you play Diablo 3, which I do, on occasion still.
Let their fortifications
Why do you have to be part of the problem? This is what it takes.
Whoa, what? Like gummy bears?
No, like big hairy men.
Oh, okay. I got a guy right here next to me for that. For you, not for me.
I don't watch your sloppy seconds.
Damn.
I am
He's offended.
sloppier than fucking second.
He's sloppy, but
Who wants a wombo combo?
oh my God,
It'll
where
work
are
this
you?
time. We'll just do Johanna. It'll work.
Okay, let's do her.
Oh God. Hey, watch your fucking mouth.
Just go away, don't come back.
Fine, I'll just spank her to death.
I cast a long shadow.
God damn it, I hate how there's such goddamn pussies when they're losing.
Go away and don't come back.
Okay, now there's 2 versus 2. They won't.
Yeah, now they're, yeah.
Go do it. Go do it.
Why do you have to be part of the problem?
Nope, they want to go back to spawn. And we're gonna die. Oh God.
Now we're good. Look at this. Bam. Melt.
Pro.
Fucking run.
There's darkness out there.
There's a heal for you because I can do
I'll
that.
run. I'll run.
Going somewhere?
Oh my God, boy. Oh no, run. You did.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Are the embodiment of my hatred, a scorn that is eternal.
Oh boy. Ah shit, I forgot it had to fucking cast bubble hearts.
Haha, you're gay.
Who's the fucking retard now?
Me.
I don't want to do that. On the run again.
Damn it, stop stealing all the kills. Alright, cool, there's 3 bot. I am gonna have my wombo combo. Just watch this shit.
I cast a long shadow.
Alright, camera's on you. It's recording.
I actually am.
Alright.
Well, wait.
Here we go, here we go.
Yeah, the 2 split up.
I know.
He can tell them.
Hell, I got one of them.
Aren't enemies supposed to be scary?
Alright. Yeah. Spanky time. Spank, spank.
Couldn't have done better myself.
There's darkness out there.
Johanna uses whips. It's hot. Whips and chains.
Did you say his whips? You call Johanna a man?
No. Uses.
I'm fucking triggered.
Well, you gotta admit, she's pretty butch.
Yeah.
I know. Just go away and don't come back.
I saw Asmodan sneaking out somewhere. Where'd he go?
Incinerate all who oppose this realm's rebirth.
Yeah, eat shit, Jaina.
Today's my day. I cast a long ally is in neither base.
I literally almost got 1v1 by the water elemental.
I can teach you how to play one day if you want.
No thanks, I don't like picking up bad habits.
Oh shit.
You cannot break me!
Shatter my bone.
Oh! Alright, at least she didn't...
Okay.
I didn't get it, but she didn't live. That's what matters.
Yeah, just remember what I do, and you'll learn.
Teach me, senpai.
Omae wa shinu. Nani?
Did you just quote Fist of the North Star? My favorite fucking anime. Omae wa mou shindeiru.
It's so.
Nani? What is this, Dragon Ball?
God damn it, I didn't level. I blame you.
It's.
My boyfriend's saying that anime is like the worst anime of all time. Next to me, but he's not my boyfriend. Sorry, he just gave me that look. He's
Yeah,
my
I know it's the best anime of all time, but what's the worst?
You just gotta spread it around. You can't just think of yourself. You can't just think of yourself just this one time because it's Christmas.